Hello and welcome to Channel's Book Club. My name is Olakunle Kasumo, and it's great to be on the show where we discuss all things books. One of the questions that people get to ask me a lot is how they can get young people to start reading again. That young people don't read. And is it true that young people don't read? Really? Have we thought deeply about that? I'm trying to get used to reading on my phone. It's not very easy. I like to read, the good old paper pages. Now, reading on my phone is something I'm trying to learn to do. It's a bit tricky. Reading books, and that's the point. Do people read? Do Nigerians read? Do young people read? Of course, young people in Nigeria read. Nigerians read. But the question is, what do we read? What do people read? So getting on Facebook and reading stuff on Facebook is reading. Yeah, or on X, it's reading. Yeah, but the question is, what are you reading? That's the question. It's not that we don't read. Nigerians read, young people read. But what are they reading? And the challenge is to get people reading books, because reading books can be very, very powerful. It's a whole different intellectual track when you read books, because books are structured, require a particular level of discipline and focus and concentration to read a book from the beginning to the end, as the case may be. So maybe that's a challenge, getting people to read books. So it's not like trying to revive the reading culture. There is a reading culture, but it's about getting us to read the right things, because a society that reads is empowered. Imagine building a whole new generation of Nigerians who are intellectually sound because they keep investing in intellectual development. I always talk about that so passionately. Just go on and on about that. Well, you recall that on this show, we looked at this book on your screen. Yes, Nigerian Public Discourse, The Interplay of Empirical Evidence and Hyperbole by former governor of Lagos State, Babatunde Raji Fashola. What an intellectual man he is.
Most, if not all, of what is in that book has come from my public service experience of 21 years. And of course, beyond what we are able to show to the public in terms of what we do and what we say, we have backroom conversation amongst colleagues, with friends, with staff, and even with family. So, and that's where this came from. Of course, the conversation about our country doesn't end in the office. It gets back home. It gets discussed over drinks. And when I express some of these thoughts, the next reaction is, why don't you just write this? And I say, maybe it's not right now. I'm still serving. Some of them might sound like an excuse. Let's try and do as much as we can. But more importantly, in some of the positions I've canvassed publicly and I've had pushback, I haven't had the kind of pushback that showed me a superior argument. Again, so I thought that it was important to do this.
Well, we found it interesting to explore the kinds of books he likes to read, what are on his bookshelves and all those things. Somebody said that you get to know people by checking out the kind of books they try to read, or they like to read, or the kind of books they have on their bookshelves. Well, maybe not. But we had fun with former Governor Babatunde Raji Fashola when he graciously gave us an insight into the kinds of books on his bookshelves, the kinds of books he likes to read, the kinds of books he enjoys reading. It was fun. Enjoy this. This is really impressive. What kind of, how did you collect this? Over how many years?
Well, I think that these are some books as old as my university life. Some came when I was in private law practice. Many more came when I became a public officer. I think that there was this belief in the public space that I read quite a bit, and so I got quite a few books. And then there's some that I picked up on my travels, especially at our local airports, especially most of the local authors, the Awus about Ladoke, Akitola, Shagari, Jogaba. I picked up many of those up from our local airports. There's quite a treasure trove there. And of course, I watched this Global Public Square, Farid Zakaria, and usually a section of the book. So some of the books is recommended. I pick up, and then I just, even from friends, have you read this book? Have you read that book? And then, of course, about leaders. So you have books from Raila Odinga, Obama, Blair, Lee Kuan Yew, Giuliani on leadership, and also some of our, there's something about Justice Bergore there and the legal profession. There's some of the sports, and also books about speech writing. So you see that Chambers book of speeches there, that one.
Okay. So.
Then there's one somewhere, Lend Me Your Ears, is also about, teaches you how to write speeches. Then there's one here, 501 must know speeches, and those kind of things generally. And then nature.
I mean, clearly non-fiction preference here.
No, the fictional work. James Hadley Chase is somewhere there from my teenage life. So I've made sure my children read those books, and a few. I have also some of the Chimamanda series. Yes, Americana is my favorite. So it's somewhere in there. And then, of course, the law books behind you. Nigerian law reports, the laws of the Federation, laws of Lagos State, then Shashegmo's cases on the Supreme Court. And so, of course, I haven't read every book. So
so how do you...
and there's this interesting book, one of my favorites, the Awujale's autobiography. Very, very interesting and revealing book. Yeah, very, very interesting and revealing book.
So which would you, typically pick as your favorite genre? Would it be politics or history or biographies, autobiographies? Gone to your head.
I think
that's a big one.
Autobiographies are, for me, really it. And also history. I'm trying to see where Alhaji Femi Okuno's book is about, somewhere in here. I saw it last week.
Like his autobiography, right?
No, not his autobiography. It's his book about land matters.
Is there a favorite book? That's
my favorite book.
Oh, you do have one?
Well, let me call it a favorite, because it deserves to be. There are quite a few. Arthur Worry's Diaries of Mr. Michael is one of them. Professor Shoyinka's You Must Set Forth at Dawn is also one of them. But perhaps one that really does it for me is Alex Ferguson, Leading.
Oh,
that book was, I gave it to some of my friends in leadership responsibilities, and they're quite...
of course, you have a number of football titles.
Yes, football is life, really. Football, interestingly, contains everything we express in life. Football is passion,
teamwork,
tears, joy, cheating. Everything is there. Anger, teamwork, team disappointment, success, failure. Everything is there in those 90 minutes and behind. So there's a lot to learn.
Is Obama your favorite Western politicians or foreign politicians. Like, I can see Obama here.
I got quite Lee Kuan Yew. I got quite many Obama books, but I think the one that I found more riveting was Game Change. And it doesn't really have Obama's name on it, but it tells the story of how he became president by journalists who were in and around his campaign. Very, very educative book. And that it's up there. That's it. Game Change.
He's not the author.
No. It's two journalists who wrote it. And then they wrote a sequel. Mark Halperin and John Hellman. They wrote the sequel right under there, double down how he won the re-election.
Oh, wow.
Very, very revealing about American politics and how when people say, oh, there's no Godfather, no, you should go and read that book.
Okay, I'll mark that down. I can see you have Tunde Leye's book.
Yes.
Tunde Leye, but
it was a gift. It was a gift.
Unopened.
It was a gift by my office when I was leaving office as minister in May of 2023. So I haven't read it. That was my sent forth gift by my staff.
I recommend that. He has two. I think this is
Afonja, and then
that's a sequel.
Age of there's something.
Yeah.
Age of
there's the first one before this. I think you'll love to read that. The story of Afonja and how Afonja was betrayed and all that. The Oyo Empire. The story of the Oyo Empire. Interesting. And so, would you, if you walked into a bookshop, are you like me? You can't walk out without buying books.
Sometimes I do, because I go in there looking for specific titles.
And if you don't find it,
I'm going
to walk out. I think I need to learn from you.
But there's a lady at the MM2 who, when I'm going, okay, you know that they are not going to pay me if you don't buy a book.
So just buy.
So for her sake, sometimes I buy a title.
Is this one? Is it a book?
No, it's not a book. Actually, it's your Masquerade. This is the new gift type from the state government.
Okay.
It was given to me by one of my proteges, Tijani Mukhtar.
There's a gigantic book on the Benin Empire. I don't know if you have it read. Really large.
Benin Empire.
Yes. You have a copy.
I'm not sure. I might actually.
I wish
I might.
Okay,
I might be in Abuja. I might, or in my.
Very, very gigantic. I feel like every great society with history should have a book like that. Lagos State.
Interestingly, you know, we did a book about the history of Lagos. Yes. And we presented it just before I left office. And what we sought to do was to get all of the prolific historians of Lagos origin to come together, because history is a very, very dynamic subject and historians never agree on all the facts. And the challenge was, I want you to give us your agreed version of the history of Lagos. And they came up with something, which we then introduced in Lagos schools. And I hope that they continue to teach it.
Thank you very much. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. And thank you for this look around. Thank you, sir. Up next is a report on Maritime Rights Project. This is something that we have been on this show for a while. So if you've been watching, you're probably familiar. But then, if you're not, enjoy this.
A fantastic session. It's the 4th edition of Maritime Rights Project MWP, a hybrid creative writing bootcamp annually organized to train teenagers and adults on creative ways of telling maritime stories. Earlier in August, the organizers called for submission of essays on the theme Protecting Heritages in the Blue Economy. Following this, the top 20 were invited to participate in the bootcamp physically in Lagos, while 50 others were invited to participate online. The project coordinator, MWP Ezine Azuna, while welcoming the participants to the 2-day bootcamp, enlightens them on what the blue economy is.
Anything above the water, directly above the water, under the water, in the water, around the water, that happens on the water comprises the blue economy.
Professionals present educate participants on writing and maritime.
The art of writing is not easy. It's not something that is very easy. For some it is. Because some have capacity. Some have an endowment. They are gifted. That's what they say. We have gifted writers or skilled writers. But it's not everybody who is gifted naturally. Some have to learn it.
What is blue economy? What is maritime? Simply meaning that what? How we can do what? Make a living out of what? The sea.
After the interesting sessions, the children speak on what they have learned, and the Maritime Workers Union of Nigeria applauds the organizers.
We've learned the way that we should structure our compositions and how to preserve the ocean and not to waste the resources we have.
I want to write a story concerning young adults. I want to write something about people of my age in a way I can relate with them easily, so that they can learn about the sea and how to protect the sea.
What Maritime Rights Project is doing is a very good thing to sensitize these younger ones, to let them know that the writing culture and reading culture should not be allowed to die.
Organizing the Maritime Rights Project for 4 consecutive years, despite the nation's economic meltdown, must be quite challenging. The project coordinator speaks on the drive behind the bootcamp in relation to this year's theme.
I think the drive in recent times have been the results we've gotten. So when you put a seed to the ground and you see it germinate and flower, you're excited and you want to keep doing that.
The Maritime Rights Project is a not-for-profit organization that holds creative writing workshops annually to guide children, youths, and women of all ages within and around littoral communities in Nigeria.
Some years ago, we visited the GHI Library. If you have not been there, go right now. Tomorrow. Just go there. It's fantastic. Chief Gani Fawahimi, late Chief Gani Fawahimi, a legend. He built such a fabulous library, and those behind him, his children and proteges, and they've done a great job building up the place, keeping it alive. The Gani Fawahimi Library is a must-visit place. But it's not just a library, also the gallery. And it's all built up to remember that great man. Not just remember him, but also preserve very, very important parts of Nigerian history. What a place to visit. You have to visit that place. Well, it was formally launched, the library and the gallery recently, and what a time we had with them. But apart from the launch of the library, the official opening of the library and the gallery, 2 books were released. On your screen, Gani Fawahimi, The Enigma, 15 years after his demise, compiled by Basirat Fawahimi Biobako. The gallery and the library were opened recently. Enjoy this.
participating in opening the doors of this gallery in honor of Gani for all the struggles that he went through in benefit of the common man. He lived for the people, he died for the people in cause of fighting for a better Nigeria for all of us. May this gallery be an inspiration for those that will continue to struggle for the benefit of the ordinary Nigerians and for a better Nigerian country.
This was when he launched free education at all levels at the age of 35. So Awolowo came to Ondo with Mama to help him do that. So advocacy for June 12, sir, this is my interest too. This is June 12, all the front pages of June 12. Gani tax cuts on access to Abiola. Why I snubbed MKO's wives? They were fighting amongst themselves. He said, try and unite and let's sue the government. This is the family side. His children married. He was lucky to witness the wedding of 2 of his children. So that's my sister. Yeah, that's Abiodun Adetile. That's my mom and dad. This is Archbishop Viney. I married the Biobaku, Professor Saburi Biobaku. The last child is my husband. Yeah. That's prisoner J60. That's in Lagos before taking him to Gashua. That's Your Excellency. I admire one of Ghani's PhD. I think the one from Ife. That's the one from Ife. Auntie Onyeka, bless her soul. She came for Fanwemizi. Auntie Dora too. We have all the CDs of the 2003 election. This is His Excellency Governor Nikita will be holding part 1917 Court of Appeal, Obi and INEC, page 1 to 308. These are all papers, Nigerian Tribune, Daily Times, Daily Sketch. Your Excellency, please come down because we have this bibliography of 400 volumes. So anybody can write on Gani if they want.
As I taught the library, I could see the emptiness of today because none of us today is keeping such record of everything. I could see a great work of a great man, and considering that this man, Gani, lived for Nigeria. He never lived for all the vices we are seeing today of tribe, of religion, of gender. He lived for all because he believed that we're all one and worked and struggled for every common Nigerian for benefit of all. So I unveiled this book. I also launched it. What I saw here today, you can count me as a member of this library, the member of this gallery, and I thank all the hardworking Nigerians that are working in this facility and urge you to continue the struggle from where this wonderful Nigeria started. Thank you, and may God bless all of us.
Good day, everybody. We are here for the books presentation. 2 very important books of the founder of the Gani Fawemi Library and Gallery, Chief Gani Fawemi.
So this book is a compendium of 13 chapters compiled by me, but written by professors, doctors, lawyers, activists on the state of the nation after Gani has died since 2009. When you pick up this book, you see pictures of the library and gallery. You see the setup of the gallery on 3 floors and the setup of the library on 3 floors.
This is where we have to end the show today. As always, we're delighted to get your feedback through any of our social media platforms displayed on your screen. My name is Olakunle Kasumo. Remember, one great book can change your life. Bye-bye.